I'm Krystle. I've loved dolls my whole life. I collect everything from porcelain to cloth, American Girl, neonates, and real care dolls. But my favorite is to collect and make reborn dolls. There's Chloe, Grace, Jeremy, Maya, Yuki, Savannah, Zoe, Haley, Landon, Maisie, and Joshua. It isn't easy keeping up with my collection, but it sure is a lot of fun. Hi guys, I am here with a Twin Tuesday video. So Nicole and I have decided to start up our Twin Tuesday again. We have a few more matching outfits that we can do with our reborns, as well as I think also American Girl. But we're going to start with the reborns, and I'm actually about to send out a box to her that's going to have a couple of more outfits that we can do Twin Tuesdays with. So I'm changing Noah today, and I'm so happy that finally the heat wave has seemed to end. We had about a, gosh, it seemed like anywhere from a 2 to 3 week heat wave. Like the heat was just brutal. And I actually started a new job 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago? Wait. Yes, 2 weeks ago. I started a new nanny job. I actually hadn't started looking for a nanny job yet. Like, I was just sort of casually browsing job postings, but I had kind of like was not really planning to start any, like I was hoping to start a new job around October-ish. But what happened was I was first just randomly contacted on Canadian Nanny by a family looking for someone to look after their newborn part-time. And at first I was like, yeah, I would love to look after a newborn again. But then as I started talking with the mom about what they were specifically looking for and stuff, I wasn't too sure if it was a fit for me. And then, oh my goodness, this is there's not much give here. Okay. And so basically what happened was we did like a phone interview sort of thing. But in that phone interview, they didn't fully disclose everything they were looking for. And then what happened was we were going to set up an in-person interview, and they sent me what, like a list of things that were going to happen at the interview. And then they also sent me a draft of a contract, which as a nanny, I now use my own contract. I've made up my own contract with the help of the nanny group that I'm in, and I've learned to like advocate for myself as well as like advocate for what I need in a nanny position, because in my many years of nannying, I have come to learn what is called the industry standard benefits that all nannies should get. Nanny jobs, first off, you need to get whatever is legal for employment. So here in Ontario, we follow like the Ontario Employment Standard Act. So everything that is in that is what I'm entitled to receive, as well as there's specific things that are nanny industry standards. So for example, guaranteed hours, which means say I'm hired to work 20 hours a week, I am guaranteed to be paid the 20 hours a week regardless of if I'm not needed, or like say the family goes away on a trip and they don't need me for a week, they still need to pay me my 20 hours of work. And I quickly learned to make up my own contract after this was a few years back, and it was, oh, I'm trying to think, how many nanny families had I worked for at that point? I had worked for, trying to think now. I had worked for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 families at that point who had all basically just upfront given me the nanny industry standards, which I guess they had researched that this is what nannies get. They did their research. And so I just expected it from every job. And then I got this one job that, if you guys have been around on my channel for years, you'll probably remember this, where I think I only worked for them 2 months and then I quit because they just weren't willing to negotiate on these things, and they thought I was completely out of my mind to expect to be paid the 3 weeks a year that they would go on vacation. And it's like, well, I'm not choosing to take those 3 weeks off. You're going away for 3 weeks, so why should I miss 3 weeks of pay? Basically, guaranteed hours is like the reverse of what happens when your child goes to a daycare center. So when you put your child in a daycare center, you pay for the whole month up front. And so you're paying for that entire month, whether your child attends every single day of that month or not. Like if they're at home sick or you go on a trip, you're still paying for the whole month. And the reason that you do that is to hold the spot for your child, so that when you go on vacation, on a trip, you're not going to like lose your child's spot in the daycare. So when you get back from your trip, they can go right back into the center. Well, it's basically like the reverse with nannying. They are reserving me for a set amount of hours every week. And if they choose to send me home early, or they choose to say, we don't need you on this day, or we're going away for a week or two, I still need to be paid, because I can't go out and find another job to fill those 2 weeks or whatever. So they are reserving me. And this family did not understand this concept whatsoever. They also, oh gosh, what else was it? I'm trying to remember. There were so many things that they weren't willing to do, and I had to like explain everything to them. And then certain things they did go on, like for example, they were going to deduct a half hour of pay from my hours worked, because they were going to say that that half hour was my lunch break, but that lunch break happened when their child was napping. So that's not really a lunch break, because I can't leave the house, because if their child wakes up, someone has to be there. So you have to be paid for the entire time you are at their house, because their child could wake up at any minute and need you. So I was like, no, this is not how this works. I need to be paid for that half hour, because no one else is here to look after your child but me, and I can't leave the house. So that's not that's not a lunch break. They were like wanting me to like clock in and clock out, and I was just like, no, I'm not clocking in and out, because if I clock out, that means I can leave the house, right? And they're like, well, no, because our child is here sleeping. And I'm like, exactly. So when I explained it to them like that, they did it, but they seemed like annoyed by it and all this stuff. So that's where I first learned, make my own contract. And that's what I present to families now. I'm like, this is what I want. Take it or leave it. There are a couple of points on my contract that I am willing to negotiate certain things with, such as like paid sick days, or what was the other thing? Like a sick policy kind of thing. So like, because I'm immune compromised, I'm not going to come in and care for a child who has like diarrhea, vomiting, or fever. And I will still be paid for that. There was a family that was like, well, that seems like, you know, you could get like an infinite amount of days off paid. How about we cap it at like 5 paid days of the kids being sick, and then if there's any more than that, it would be unpaid. And I was like, sure, I'm okay to negotiate on that. So there's certain things I'll negotiate on, but overall, I have a set thing of like, I've been in this business now over 10 years. I know my worth. I know the rules. I know what I'm supposed to get as a nanny. Here it is. So anyways, like I said, this potential family presented me with a contract. And so anyways, when I read through the contract, I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. There were so many things wrong with it. And I was, first off, also, I could tell just by what they were expecting at the interview and what they were expecting in the contract, that they were going to be I was going to be very micro-managed. And that is like too stressful. They were wanting me to do like massages on the baby, which I have like zero experience with. They were wanting me to do all these like things that I'm like, this is not part of being a nanny. And even for the interview, they were wanting me to come with a planned activity to do with their 1-month-old baby. And I'm like, there's really not any planned activities you can do with a baby that young. Like, when I took care of Annie and Jeremy when they were babies, it was all spontaneous play. It was all developmentally appropriate play. Like, we did tummy time. Sometimes I would lay him on like a boppier or in a bouncy chair, and I would like play with a toy with him. I would read to him. From the time he was a baby, I didn't care if he understood it yet or not. I would always point out colors, counting, ABCs, you know, things like that. And his language developed. He ended up having a fantastic vocabulary, and I really attribute it to the fact that both his parents and I, like, we talked to him a lot, and we read to him every day from the time he was a 3-week-old baby. We read to him, and, you know, we were always talking to him, and so he had a really amazing vocabulary. And so, you know, with Jeremy, like, basically for his first year of life, I never planned activities. I just did everything like spontaneously. And then when he started to, just before he was a year old, then I started to do some little things, like I made sensory bottles, or we did some water play in the background, things like that I planned. But we didn't really get into like more elaborate planned activities until he was like a year old. But because prior to that, it's just very spontaneous play. You just kind of go throughout the day, and, you know, because they're growing and changing every day at that, like, very quickly, and so you have to plan anyways. So I was kind of like, I'm sorry, like, I can't plan an activity for a 1-month-old baby. I mean, yeah, I guess I could have gone and just like done a tummy time session with baby, but I kind of like the tone of the email, I didn't feel like that's what they were expecting to see. They were expecting like an actual activity. And I was like, no. So they were a little intense, and so I was like, okay, no. But then since I was on the website, the Canadian Nanny website, responding to them, I came across 2 other job postings that sounded really up my alley, and I applied for them. And anyways, I ended up getting one of them, and I started 2 weeks ago. Or yeah, I mean, I just finished my 3rd week with them actually. So, and I'm taking care of an 11-month-old boy, and he is really cute. His family is very, very nice people. Both parents are working from home. I don't like work from home parents, but at this point with COVID, it's like pretty much a given. You're going to have parents working from home. So you just have to deal with it. But I kind of laid down like some ground rules with it and just say that please try your best to not let your child see you while they're with me. Because if they see you, they will want you. They will not want me. They will cry. They will get upset. And we have had a couple of situations. But this week, like on Tuesday, it went really well because they really did stay out of the way the whole day. And it went so much more smoothly without him seeing the parents. He was happier. He was more engaged. It just works out so much better. So it is a challenge with work from home parents because, you know, sometimes like they just want to like come in and see their kid, which I understand, but then it completely disrupts everything because then he's aware that they're there and then he cries. And there's been a lot of big changes too because he was born during COVID. So he has only ever seen his mom, his dad, and his grandmother and grandfather, I believe. So only 4 people. And so here I am. I'm a new person that he's trying to get used to. And then on top of that, they moved to a new house. They were actually in the process of moving my first week working for them. And so my first week of work, I was actually working at the grandma's house because he was staying with grandma for the week while they moved. And then last week was their first week in the new house. And so it's a lot of changes for him to have me and then have a new house that he's trying to get used to and everything. So it's been a little challenging, but he's slowly warming up to me. And as I said, like the best way to let that happen is for the parents to stay out of the way. Yesterday, that didn't happen, and it was not good. I was sitting him down I was getting his lunch ready, and the dad came in the kitchen and saw him and picked him up and everything. And then when we tried to sit him down to eat lunch, he flipped out and just wanted his dad. So he got very upset when the dad walked away. So then the mom came in and he just was like having a huge meltdown. It was not good. And so it took basically like his mom had to feed him lunch because there was no way at that point that she could leave because he was just like not having it. Whereas the day before when I had him completely to myself, he ate no problem. So it's definitely a challenge with the parents there. It'll take a bit to get into the groove of things. I had the same struggle with Jay at the beginning because his mom originally was working in the living room. So she was literally right there while we were playing, and a lot of times he didn't want to play because he just wanted to go sit with his mom. So eventually she got a desk up in her room. Excuse me, my throat is very dry today. I had to go on this steroid nasal spray again, and every time I have to go on one of those, they tried to give me a gentler one this time, but they really irritate my throat. I've come to realize I have a very sensitive throat. Basically, steroid nasal sprays and my steroid inhaler irritate the heck out of my throat. Anyway, all that to say, yeah, it was a struggle with Jay at the beginning, but once his mom moved her workspace upstairs, it was so much better. Yeah, so hopefully we get there soon, but I understand that it's a lot of changes for the little guy, so I'm giving him his space and time to get used to everything. So anyways, I've been enjoying it though. It's a nice area, and there's literally a park like right behind their house. Basically, it takes us I would say less than 5 minutes to walk to the park. So it's literally like right there. We essentially go out of their house and right around the corner, and it's there. It's amazing. And there's also nearby, there's also like a wooded trail or something like that. I haven't explored that yet, but there's a nice walking trail. Yeah, and then also the other cool part, which I haven't taken advantage of yet, but it's actually a 5-minute walk to my friend Paula's house from there as well. Like, I'm literally working on the same street that my friend Paula lives on. So that's been fun to know. So one day we plan to like meet up at the park. But yeah, anyways, that's what's going on with me. And between that and trying to finish my course, which I'm very close to being finished, I have one more assignment to complete section 6, and it's a big assignment. It's taken me some time to get everything done up on that. Then the final section, which is section 7, is going into how to start up your business and how to market yourself and all that kind of stuff. And then there's a final exam at the end, and then I'll be done. So I'm very close to being finished. I'm hoping probably by the end of September I should be completed, and then I can start my business. So I'm currently working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday every week, and I have Thursday and Friday off. And so Thursdays and Fridays are when I hope to work on the business. So this is why I haven't had much time to film videos. I have so many video ideas that I want to film, but it's just been hard to find time. And I think even like going forward, it's going to be tricky, especially when I'm trying to start up my sleep consulting business. So that's kind of where things are. So here's Noah, and I didn't tell you guys anything about this outfit that I put on him today, but he is going to be twinning with one of Nicole's babies. I'm assuming it will be Sean who will be wearing it. This is a sleeper from Old Navy that I thought was super cute because I've never seen anything like it. It combines construction trucks with rainbows, and I absolutely love that. So you've got tractors, you've got a cement mixer, I think, and there's a bulldozer. and a digger, and then some of them have like a rainbow coming out of them. And it's one of those zip up sleepers that is it two-way or one-way? It's a two-way zipper. This is a two-way zipper. I didn't realize that Old Navy also made, it is Old Navy, right? Yeah, it's Old Navy. I didn't realize Old Navy also did the two-way zippers. I really like the two-way zippers. This is a new concept that they've come out with. And usually I don't like zipper sleepers because you always get like this little bulge here, which is really annoying. Some are worse than others. But I will say that if this was a real baby, I would love the two-way zipper because you can, to put it on, you can zip it all the way down like that. But then if you have to do a changing, then you take the zipper from this end and zip it up like that, and then just take the feet out and you can do a changing without taking the whole thing off. Like, it's really awesome. So I like that concept. But yeah, there's Mr. Noah, and I'm just trying to position him so that you can see his face. I think I need to have my camera higher up. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed seeing him in this outfit and hearing my little updates. And yeah. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and don't forget to check out Nicole's channel. I will put a link in the description of this video below, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.